The following program is for mature audiences only. None of the information provided is intended to be medical or any other professional advice requiring licensing through any regulatory agency. It is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Amy Satori. I'm an intuitive spiritual counselor assisting in raising the vibration of our planet. I was born with extraordinary gifts, experienced enlightenment for 6 months years ago, speak light language, and channel a being called Celeste, who is an ambassador for a Galactic Council of 60. I am able to scan your energy field for emotional blockages and talk to or aid in the healing of your organs using Qigong energy healing. I can also help you make decisions, talk to your pets, deceased loved ones, and your friends and family's higher selves. I can help you navigate your relationships and answer pressing questions in your life by talking with the unseen world. I use these skills I've developed to translate the images, feelings, impressions, and messages I'm given while tuning into you and your situation. I work Thursday through Saturday as a psychic for the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder, Colorado, and conduct remote readings all over the world. You can order a private reading from my website at amysatori.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow me here on Podbean, Instagram, my 1111 Twin Flame Forum on Facebook, and YouTube. Set a reminder in your phone to call live on the show any Sunday, 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, or 8:30 Eastern, to ask me a question, receive a blessing, or have me do some energy work on you. So, my friends, without further ado, let's get to today's show. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the Satori Show this week. I had a pretty cool lunch today with Stephen Angel. He's a pretty amazing guy to get to know. So you guys maybe knew him from a past episode when I was first getting going on the Satori Show. And he talked about some of the things the Divine Masculine has to go through to kind of evolve into a spiritual being. So that was a really, really cool connection we made today. So thank you, Stephen, if you're watching this. That was really a nice time. So I have a special guest today, you guys, and I'm going to bring her on the line. But basically what happened is this gal, Jane, comes in for a reading, and she starts to tell me that she has become friends with her Divine Masculine's karmic, if you guys can even believe that. I was like, wait, can you repeat that? Did you really just say what I think you just said? And she repeated it, and I was like, yeah, I heard that right. So as you can imagine, I totally picked her brain, and then I asked her if she'd come on the show and talk about it. So here she is. Jane, is this you?
Hi. Yeah, that's me.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
So how the heck did you even find out who your Divine Masculine's karmic is, let alone, like, become friends with her? And does he even know?
Well, actually, I do. I kind of have to give him the credit for it. He set up the initial meeting, although we both knew of each other.
Okay.
And we just have a special kind of case scenario here. She was married to him when we met. So, yeah, that's how that all started. And, of course, has transpired into where we are today about a year later. Friends.
So, details.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess, when you create a union with your twin, it's just such an intense time. And I don't think that she was just ready to let go yet. And I just had to find the space in me to find understanding of where she was coming from and kind of hold space for her to heal and kind of all of us to really heal together while they ended their union. And through that love and space together, I don't know, we gained a lot of respect for each other. And after the initial meeting, a lot of time passed, but we had a funny conversation, and I said, I hope I run into you again somewhere in the world. And she just said, divine timing will tell. And a couple of months ago, right before Christmas, she was on my brain just so heavily, and something was telling me, reach out to her. And of course, my sane brain was like, why would I do that? And I was at work, and I rounded the corner to grab a coffee, and I walked in, and she was sitting in the coffee shop, and kind of took my breath away. And of course, I turned around to leave, and something was like, no, like, go say hi. And so I did, and that just kind of started this new connection. And of course, at the moment, my love, whatever we would like to call him at the moment, and I are separated. So we're not together at the moment. This is the time of separation while he needs to do a lot of healing from this past relationship, and she does too. And somehow, especially for her and for myself, like, we have become this open line of communication for each other in a hard time, I guess.
That's amazing. So you guys are helping each other heal.
Yeah, completely. Absolutely.
She's not mad at you?
No, she's not. They have their own story of course, when you're in a relationship with a karmic, right? Like, that fizzles out kind of on its own, eventually. And so no, she doesn't blame me. We're still working through it, I think.
Well, wasn't she able to tell, like, when you came on the scene? What happened?
Yeah, she was. Well,
and you didn't know that she was with him. You didn't know that they were together either, right?
What happened was she moved away from Boulder, Colorado, and onto her own new scene, and had to come back to move out of their house together. And, I thought it was important for them to get together during that time, because what an intense, hard, emotional thing to go through. And maybe they could find some closure if they got together while she was here. And he was pretty resistant to that, and then was open to it and got together with her and told her about me. And she said immediately she had to meet me. She knew that I was important and that she needed to meet me. And I really wanted to meet her too, just because, as women especially, we're kind of ingrained to hate the ex, right? Like, oh, this is competition. You treated him badly. I hate you, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't feel like him and I could ever have a good, open, trusting union unless really all of us were on the same page and healthy moving forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to say that first meeting wasn't incredibly hard and awkward and all of the things, especially, for me, because these two people had spent so much time together. So it was really hard for me. But we both just held so much grace with the situation, and we were both open, and that's really all that mattered, that we were both open to it, and we both said yes. And so we went through it. I mean, she is a strong chick. I'll give her that for sure.
No kidding. And she really held on to him, right?
Yeah, she
for
did.
A while.
I mean, yeah, you can imagine, like, there was a deep love there at one point, and always will be. And it's nothing. I had to learn that it's nothing to compare myself to. It's a different thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of been my lesson, because of course this ex comes into the picture, and I'm all like, oh hell no, like, I have to fight now. But slowly and calmly, I learned that didn't need to be the case. And I think with her too, it was like, oh no, what if we come at this from a place of total love and compassion and openness? What can happen then? And
wow.
This past weekend, we've started spending more and more time together, which is really cool, while they actually are finishing this healing process between them, which I learned a lot about just this weekend. So really happy for her and for him and for whatever is to come next.
So do you think that maybe meeting you and talking to you and getting to know you has helped her let go of him?
Yeah, I think, both of us just have this deeper understanding of him, of this entire past year that we've been to. I think a lot of people experience what I call the wormhole of 2018. And I don't know, I think we have found this communication that we have both been seeking, really deeply seeking with him, with each other, because he just hasn't been capable of doing it in the past year. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you where we're going to go from here, but I know that I'm very happy with how this has turned out so far.
How do you think he'll respond when he knows that you guys have been talking?
I don't like to think about that, but I know I'm very resistant to that thought of, okay, well, like, do I tell him? But to be honest, you know, he did it. This is his work. He did this. He set it up. It was important to him, and he kind of pushed us together and then kind of just left. And he was like, you two now need to meet and know each other, and I'm going to go. And her and I were like,
so meant to be.
Well, yeah, you know, careful what you wish for.
So what would you say was different? Like, once you met her, what was it different than, I'm sure you had some preconceived notions of what she was like with him. So then when you got to know her, like, how did your perception of that situation change?
Well, I mean, it was so cliche. I thought that she was like the crazy, controlling ex.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't really remember if that was just my own reality of it, or if he convinced me of that, or what, probably a little bit of both, of course. And even after we met, you know, like the things that spiraled out afterwards, I still put her in that place. But something just like kept telling me, like, no, you're not gonna do this to her. Like, she does not deserve this treatment and this idea of who she is from you. Like, you have to go deeper with her and figure out who she is, who he was in love with for so long, why they had this relationship, who he was throughout it, and how he's changed in her eyes. Yeah, because I didn't know him during that time, and when you like love someone that deeply, I don't want to know all of it. And there's a part of me when you ask, like, you know, how do you think he's going to react? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's crossing a boundary or not, but I just don't think it can be because of how much love her and I have for each other now.
That is, wow.
How can that be wrong, right?
That's so amazing. And you get to, it's like she's a relative, and like you got to know his sister, sort of.
Totally. And I mean, anyone that is familiar with soul families know that we meet them in so many different people. And us three, I mean, I don't know if we have a unique case or what, but like us three are very connected. She was always a part of this for me. She was always very well respected because, of course, you know, him and I met in not ideal circumstances. He was not available, and I had to respect her marriage to this person because that's where they were. And I'm really glad that I did, because I've seen it go the other way where things weren't respected and nobody wins then, right? Everyone's heart gets broken. So I will say I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm definitely excited to see what is next.
That is kudos to you, girl. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Has she met anyone new yet? Because I know that, you know, once they do finally close that door, they can bring in new love too. Somebody better for them.
So she just explained to me on Friday that she did meet someone, and she was like, you know how you feel like you're never going to love like that ever again? And I was like, oh, yes, we all know that feeling. And she said, I met someone who has like sparked that in me, and I realized, oh, yes, I can. Like, yes, I can. And I will love someone again. And I was like,
I'm not going to tell you what that's called. I don't want to freak you out with the terms, but so didn't you also say, though, that she could tell a difference in the way that he acted after he met you? Yeah,
something shifted for sure. And, you know, I always refer to it, you know, before. There was life before and there was life after. And he put it into those terms to me, too. And she definitely could tell. She goes, oh, yeah, after that weekend, you know, things changed. And, you know, I didn't know if I should carry built with that, but also this was something so out of my control that I don't know, I just, instead of feeling anything, I just had to be honest with her and say, yeah, things did change.
Mhm.
And
wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yay.
Yeah.
Now both of you can be happy and everyone's in their proper place and things can blossom and flourish and maybe you guys could all go on a double date.
I know, right? Well, I
don't know if you want to go that far with it.
yeah, we'll see about that. That would be weird.
Gosh.
I'll call in if that happens. Don't worry.
Okay.
But, I think I had told you after I met him, this is probably 3 years ago now, I really started dreaming about him, just like, really intensely. And I had a dream vision, whatever you want to call it, a couple of months ago, where him and I were having this amazing ceremony together in this beautiful backyard here in the mountains. And I looked over, and the first person I saw was her, and she just had the biggest smile on her face and a baby on her lap. And I just remember in the moment in the dream thinking, like, wow, like, here we are. Like, I can't believe we got here. And everyone's happy and everyone's okay. So that was nice peer into what is to come, hopefully.
Yay. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you guys.
Thanks.
Okay.
Try it.
So I really, really appreciate you sharing this with all of us. That's so cool.
Thank you. Thank you for thinking it's special, because I really think it's special. And it's hard. It's different sharing twin flame journeys, especially with people who aren't familiar with them. So being able to share it with you and you having such a deep knowledge of where we're at and all of these things has really helped. So thank you for seeing the uniqueness of this story too.
Of course. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Keep me informed.
I will.
I'm sure you will.
Very soon.
Okay.
All right, Amy. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Gosh, you guys, isn't that just amazing? Holy cow. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes? Hello?
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So my story, I'm not to kind of leading off from the other caller. So when I met my twin flame, I would say like 3.5 years ago, I was married. And obviously after I met him, my life completely changed. I still am married, but I was wondering, does my twin flame know that he should kind of come forward or what he thinks about my marriage? Because I would not leave unless he came forward and told me explicitly how he felt about me. So that's a big step. You know, I'm making it work with my husband. It's not that it's bad or anything, but it's just not the way I feel for my twin flame.
Yeah, a lot of people are in this situation. A lot of people are with their soulmates, and then the twin flame comes along and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, okay, hang on just a minute.
I wasn't looking for him or anything like that, and it just kind of happened, and my life hasn't been the same since, so.
Wow, okay. So let me feel into your twin. Hang on just a minute. Yeah, he's ready.
Okay.
I
guess I want to kind of know if he's aware that he needs to come and tell me how he feels before I would take any action on my marriage, though. Like, I'm not willing to throw it away for someone who hasn't really told me how he feels.
No, I would hold out for that as well.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to at least tell you how he feels first.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you're not going to jeopardize that. And yes, you're settling, and yeah, I mean, you could leave just for your own happiness if it was miserable enough, but it sounds like you're pretty happy.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I do feel like I'm settling, and I wouldn't just blindly leave. So I'm wondering, does my twin know that, and is he aware of that he needs to come forward at least at the minimum?
Yeah, he does.
Or he wants me to leave first before anything happens.
Let's see. No, he knows he needs to tell you. He knows that that's too major of a life change to make without informing you. Because, I mean, that's a huge risk to take just to, just to have him not show up. And you also want to make sure that he's mature enough for a relationship, because twin flames, they can be pretty.
They're hot and cold.
Yeah. So I would make sure that he's kind of showing up for you beforehand. And you'd be surprised how many soulmates are kind of ready for you to leave too. It's really weird. It's like they know or they sense that something's happened and shifted, and they kind of get ready. Okay. And like I've tuned into so many situations to see how the soulmate will feel or how he'll do or how she'll do when he leaves or when that person leaves. And they're like, yeah, I kind of figured, I kind of knew. Or we were kind of at a stalemate. We were kind of at a bland, plateau. So
I'm not in contact with him. Do you see any communication coming my way anytime soon?
I just got 2, so that could be 2 days or 2 weeks, but I feel like soon. I feel like he's also feeling kind of antsy. I'm going to pick up a random card and see what we got here. The Magician. Yeah, he's making it happen. He may be learning about the law of attraction. Yeah, communication, King of Swords. He's making some communication happen, and he's also cutting something away. Was he with someone else?
He could be in a karmic situation or something. I don't know. He's not married. I know that. I mean, he's single. Or, I mean, he might be with somebody, but I know that he's not married. So that makes it slightly easier, I think.
He also might be worried that you're going to cut him out. He also might be scared to come forward to tell you how he feels because he's afraid you're going to not want to be with him. It's also risky. If we could all just put our cards on the table and just be honest, we'd cut through so much time and so much energy, It's, hey, I like you, you like me, here we go. I feel insecure, so do you. Yeah, okay, let's give it a go. It's just funny, the whole song and dance we go through.
Yeah, and my last question is, it's off the twin flame topic. Actually, my father is quite sick, and he has cancer. We try to be there for him as much as we can as a family. Is there anything else that Spirit wants me to do or be there for him in any kind of way, like what my dad needs right now from me, maybe?
That's such a great question. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
He wants to hold your hand. Like, he wants that, he just wants, reassurance that you love him, and I just see you holding his hand. I don't know if that means he wants you holding his hand when he goes, or if that means that he needs touch. He really is craving touch right now. Yeah, in any way. I mean, it could probably, it could be a nurse too, or whatever. But he really loves to be touched. I see his arm being touched and his hand being touched. He's just that's very reassuring for him. Even if they have any kind of animal therapy program where they bring the animals in, he would love that too. So maybe look into a program about that. Okay. Let me see what else. Hang on. Reading to him. He would love to be read to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that all resonates with me. And when we go to the doctor's appointments, we literally hold his hand and take him, and he feels really great about it. So I'm going to continue doing that.
Perfect. Yeah. He loves it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much, Amy.
He said pray for him, that the angels will take him. He's a little bit nervous about what's happening on the other side when he goes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know what? Let me give him a little picture. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
He's like, are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and he's been a great husband, a great father, just a great person all around. So I'm sad that he's stricken with such a disease, but we're trying to make the best of it.
Well, just for anybody listening, the way you get cancer is people pleasing and sugar.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to get it,
the sugar part, it's probably the people pleasing part. He just always, it was always in his nature to go above and beyond, even if he didn't have the needs for his family, his friends, his kids. So
it's one thing to be really sweet and to give, but you also have to love yourself and give back to yourself as well. You got to care as much about yourself as you do everybody else. And in fact, if you don't love yourself, that's not the kind of love you're giving. You're not giving. You're trying to get approval. So there's a big difference.
Yeah. There's a big
the love that you give. Yeah, and the love that you give from a place of the love for yourself is far deeper, a kind of love that you feel than someone just giving to hopefully like be of par or whatever. But yeah, so it's important to have healthy boundaries and to do for ourselves as much as we do for others, if not more.
Okay. I also have a generic question that could probably help all the other listeners. Like, my twin flame was not there for me when my dad got diagnosed and I went through all this stuff. So how should we, like, reconcile or be able to forgive our twin for not being there for us in, like, these big life moments when we need them the most?
Oh, my gosh. I'm feeling all of you right now. I just got chills and, like, tears in my eyes. So, hang on just a second. And yes, I can, TD. I'd be happy to, Cece. Okay, hang on just a second.
Okay.
This is so hard because I feel like when I've tapped into them in those moments, it's like deer in the headlights. It's like they want to be that man for you. They want to be the one who's there for you to cry on their shoulder or whatever. But a lot of these masculines, they haven't had a lot of confidence in that deep intimacy.
Okay.
So there's like this really great quote. Hang on a second. I'm going to look it up on Instagram. I just put it up today. What was that? And it says, people think that intimacy is about sex, but intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, when you stand in front of them and their response is, "You're safe with me," that's intimacy. So a lot of them have had difficult mothers who made them feel really not worthy of intimacy even. And they when they get that kind of it's like the universe throws a test at them and they're like, I'm not ready, I can't handle the intensity of this. They don't know what to do, but they stick their head in the sand. And for us as the feminines, not even necessarily females, but the ones on their feminine sides, we have to learn to be our own support and to stand autonomously, and be able to prove to it's a test on both sides, because we're also proving to ourselves how strong we are and how we really don't need them. And then by the time they're both mature enough to handle it, he takes that guilt from that situation and he uses it as fuel to help him to be strong. And then she also uses that same experience to say, I am strong and I can stand on my own 2 feet and I can support myself emotionally and physically and financially in all these different ways, the point that she gets to. And she's learned how to love unconditionally and forgive all of these things. And then when he is giving to her in those ways and he starts passing those kinds of tests, then she really appreciates it deeply, because it's not something she needs, but it's like her soul was quenched in a way. That thirst was quenched at that time. But until they're ready and until they're mature enough to handle that depth of pressure, then they just can't handle it. It's too much.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to all of you.
Yeah, I was friends with him, but when I told him about my dad, I mean, he literally just said nothing, and he was nowhere to be found, and we just didn't even reach out to see if I was okay, as a person, as a friend, as a human being, and that really hurt me initially.
Well, just know that they're frightened. It's like those moments when you become closest to them, and they are like my my soul flame one time. I saw him, and we had kind of a moment where he was supposed to be there for me, and he wasn't. And the next time I saw him, his jaw was shaking, and his eyes were very teary. And and at that moment that I saw his face, I was like, "It's okay," and I just walked away. I said, "It's okay." I mean, I could tell it just ripped his soul apart. It killed him. So they are thinking about it. They're probably praying for you. They're probably doing all that they can for you behind the scenes, but it's too much. They can't handle emotions like we can, at least not until they're more mature and more ready for that. Yeah. These guys have been annihilated emotionally from so many angles, and they're so sensitive. I know, it's hard. I know. Because here we are, let's have compassion for them when they have no compassion for us.
I'm still calling in asking if, like, things are going to work between me and him despite everything that, like, he's done that's supposedly not been there for me. So, yeah, I mean, it really is unconditional love, and it's amazing what we put up with and go through as feminines.
It is, but they go through a lot, too. And it's like we feel this intense love for them at the same time they feel very frightened and scared and threatened by us in that same moment.
Okay.
They see things so differently. But it's like they both work from these extreme angles and come toward each other to kind of meet somewhere in the middle when they're ready.
Okay.
If they're ever ready. I mean, they do have free will to just break down and say, I can't take it. It's too much, Then you've got other
options. Totally block you, and that's it.
Right? Gosh. It is frustrating. Anyway. I mean, I will admit, I've had those feelings too, but I definitely, as with anything in life, I've got the tools I have in my resources page. If you guys ever want to check that out, it's at amysatori.com. But basically, I whenever anything bothers me at all whatsoever, I do Byron Katie's work. And it's because we all have to learn to take personal responsibility and not make whatever somebody is or isn't doing affect our own happiness. So that exercise really helps you to look at yourself and see, what they're mirroring back to you and what needs healing within you. And that causes more and more and more freedom and autonomy.
Okay.
And emotional maturity and self-awareness. And then you end up, you're able to be like a Mother Teresa. You can just love everyone. And you've got such a huge heart that you can take anything. You could just take it all. And, what guy wouldn't die for you at that point?
I know. You're right. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah, these things are making them faithful, too. The more stuff like that you put up with, not saying that you're going to, if you decide not to be with the guy because he never does show up for you, that's a very mature decision on your part. You don't want to be with a guy who's emotionally unavailable.
I know. And as of right now, my twin is pretty emotionally unavailable, so,
So right now.
I deserve better, yeah.
Yeah, and right now, and that's good, because it also causes us to have self-worth. So you could choose another guy. That's the cool part. Yeah. You could choose another guy, and especially if they have said no, like to the universe, no, I don't want this, then the soul flame comes right on in. And they are further along than your twin flame is. So the universe isn't going to leave you hanging and saying, oh, well, guess you don't get love now,
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe, something happens down the line with your twin flame and they've been known to make a lot of progress overnight too. So don't be shocked if he comes with his heart on his sleeve and you guys have a really good heart-to-heart talk and get on the same page. It's been, there have been crazier things known. So you could, miracles do happen.
Yeah, but I'm married, so I'm just kind of wondering if he's, like, reluctant because of that or if, so it's a different situation on that end.
No, I really feel he's feeling pressure to contact you, so I think he will.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Amy. Take care.
You're welcome. All right, have a good night.
Bye. You too, bye.
That's a tough one, guys, I know. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, it's so nice to talk to you.
Well, thanks. You too. What's up?
My name's Taylor. This is my first time calling in and my first time speaking to, a reader or an advisor of any sort. And I've been following you, and I'm a fan, and a lot of the things you've been saying have resonated with me over the months. So I was hoping I could tell you a little bit about my situation, and maybe you could read into my individual energies, his energies, us as a union.
Okay. So you have a twin flame.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had been together for 4 years. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
That's okay.
So we had been together for a while, and we get along so well. We really have a special connection that's not like anything else. And somewhere down the line, we were young, we were figuring our lives out, and I got depressed at one point. I lost my job, I lost myself, and I wasn't able to give to the relationship the way he needed. And I recognized that at this point. And in that process, he started to kind of retreat. He started to fall out of love with me. And then he also legitimately started a quarter life crisis when he had his birthday. Yep.
Well, how do you know he fell out of love with you?
Based on a conversation we had today, and we were reminiscing about the past.
Okay, go ahead.
He said that.
Okay.
So we both were just in a weird place, and then with his own issues that he hasn't dealt with, that he's been struggling with, trying to find himself, trying to find his purpose. He has self-love issues, self-worth issues, childhood things, and like binge eating and body dysmorphia, and just not loving himself and not accepting love from others sometimes. So he
so how can he be there for us, right?
Right.
When they're going through that kind of hell, dark night of the soul.
I'm such a giver, and I give so much to compensate and to make him know, like, there's no worries, like, to try to, but I obviously know he has to do the work himself. He has to come to that realization, and there's only so much I can do. And so he had his birthday, New Year's came, and he kind of fell into this quarter life crisis for a full-on year, and up until this past New Year's. And he totally, like, changed his personality. He just became this different person, like functioning, out of ego and just behaving poorly and picking up with karmics and putting me through a lot and going through the same cycle over and over again.
Okay.
So,
where are you guys at now?
So, well, we went through, right now we had a very interesting conversation today that I didn't expect it to be at this place. But prior to that, we had like an official breakup in June at a very inopportune time with me having things going on. A few weeks time passed with no contact, and then we rekindle, and we develop the relationship all over again for the next 6 months. Now it's December, this past December, and I'm ready to say, let's move forward, let's have labels again, let's be committed, and that scares him. He gets cold feet, and he takes those steps backwards and says, nope, this is done again, this isn't working, and picks up with someone else. And kind of puts me in limbo, and I'm saying, that's fine if we're done, but you need to look me in the eyes and explain that's what's happening, not over the phone, not, give me some respect. And he puts me in this limbo and says, I'm figuring it out, I'm thinking about it, I need time and space. Meanwhile, he's picking up with someone else for a little bit. So 3 weeks time, he pushes me away, is with someone else, says he misses me, we rekindle again. And all of these things happened around Mercury retrogrades, actually. Funny thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And which brings us to right now, this Mercury retrograde that just kind of occurred. From this past New Year's up until now, we've been inseparable. We've grown and just developed our relationship to places it hadn't been before. It's been beautiful. It's been wonderful. And all of a sudden, Mercury retrograde occurs. He starts to change. He gets cold feet. He starts to pull away, and I call him out, and I'm like, what's going on? I know something's up. I know when you're lying. I know when it's off. And he's the same spiel, I don't know. I think it's not working. I don't think we have a future together. I just have these worries and these fears, and I don't know. And come to find out, someone else is in the picture. So,
Oh, these guys.
Yeah, and it's just frustrating. It's difficult because I know he's a good guy. He doesn't have malicious intent. We're able to communicate on a real level and have those meaningful discussions and make that progress, but he needs to, do the work. He needs to be alone, do the work, and he claims like he wants to be alone and he wants to do that, but
doesn't do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
When we talked today, he said he thinks having experiences with others is going to encourage him to find the change he needs. It's going to, having experiences with others is going to bring about the change within him and help encourage him to do it himself. When I think, no, you're just going to carry the same baggage to a different situation and repeat the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you want my take?
Sure. I do have something different that happened today as well.
Okay, what happened?
So I finally got him to have that face-to-face. We had a 3.5-hour conversation today, and we got through everything. And to my surprise, he finally acknowledged everything. He took responsibility for everything. He was so mature.
Wow.
I couldn't have asked for it to go any better. It blew my expectations out of the water. Yeah. And I'm like left in this weird space of energy right now. It didn't have the outcome, I wished. He didn't say, I choose you, I'm ready to commit, and I don't want anything to do with these other girls. That wasn't the outcome, but he showed such growth and responsibility and maturity that I had been longing for, and it kind of made things okay in a weird way. So basically we kind of came to an understanding that we need to be in each other's lives, that we're important to each other in that capacity, that we just at this time can't be romantic, and we'll determine exactly what that looks like. But, we discussed talking regularly, maybe seeing each other, like remaining like that. And, but he desires to explore this connection with this person. And he seems to think this person is different than the others. And that's where it's a little different. I'm wondering, is this going to be another situation where in a month he comes back around and is like, oh, what's going on? Or could this turn into something else? And could this really be the end where we're going to have a long break now?
Okay. All right. My turn.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's good. Some good history, the good, rich history that, it's so typical of the twin flame journey. So the first thing that I would say, though, is that you are the master of your own life. So I will actually take, I know this, so many people might be mad at me for saying this, but I kind of I take his side in terms of the way he's seeing the evolution with these other women. I mean, I know that these karmics really do have their place, and you could say that he's just being a player and trying to screw around with all these other people, but it's like they know when they're not ready. They know when they're not mature enough, and they go practice on other women to see, they even explore sexually to see, if they can gain confidence in their sex life, or they'll choose somebody for a communication experiment. Let's see if I can have good communication. So what he sees in this new person that's different is ooh, I could explore and polish these other skills up. But the problem is they can get perpetually stuck in settling with these other people. And the more time you spend with somebody, the more you fall in love. So that's the risk they're taking, And some of these karmics are very manipulative and will get them, they'll get pregnant by them. They'll take their money and they'll be just like they'll just be brought, over the coals. So it can be a very painful lesson if they're not smart about it. So I kind of agree with both sides and see both angles pretty well, but I would say that, if you're not happy with the way that it's going, it's your turn and your time to do what you want to do. So if another guy comes along who's more ready, I would definitely go with that new guy. Because, and you can always look at the twin the way that I like it mine. He's like a brother. He will always be there. I will always love him and care for him and be there for him whenever he needs me. And that's the extent of it. It's like just let you decipher what makes you happy, period. So if this isn't what you want, is for him to go out there and play sex school and communication school and, emotional intelligence school, then you choose the guy who's more mature and ready. And then, you don't know how long it's going to take him to develop and mature. So I don't know how long you want to hold out for that.
Yeah, no. I agree.
But I love what he's given you, and I love that he's grown. And this is what I hear about is some of these little mini miracles where they show up and they're like this valiant knight and they tell you all these incredible things, and then they go back to what they were doing. But, it's all part of the evolutionary path, maybe in another past life or in another future life. He'll have learned those lessons and he won't need all those karmics. But in this life, he just still needs them. And you're needing self-love and self-worth and all that. So I would just go with what you want. But let me tune into him, though. Let me just see if his higher self will give me some more information that can tell you, should I stay or should I go?
Okay.
All right, hang on. I just got the word new. So I think you might have somebody new coming in. I think he's pussyfooting around long enough. I think it's time that my last reading was like, shit or get off the pot, guys. Do something. And it's springtime. Love is in the air. So, hang on. Well, this is interesting. I think he's probably going to be ready in about 1.5 years. I know that sounds like a long time. I don't know if that sounds like a long time or a short time for you, but if you're willing to wait in 1.5 years or so, then I think that he might be ready at that time, more ready for something that you guys could, be together longer. Mm-hmm. But if you're not ready, then I definitely feel like somebody new is going to come in, and maybe the new person's going to shake it up for the twin. Maybe he's going to be like, "Oh my God, what am I about to? I'm an idiot. I'm about to lose her." But,
and that's the thing. Like I've never done anything like what he's put me through to him, and I have to imagine if he saw the reverse, he says like, go. He hopes that I find someone else, and that they make me, they give me what I need that he hasn't been able to give me. But yeah, I wonder if he saw that actually transforming, if that would.
Oh yeah,
that would affect.
No, they'll say that that's part of their player game, Oh, I just want you to be happy. I'm so happy that you're dating these other people or whatever, and it's BS. So you'll see. You'll see.
I think for a while I was kind of struggling, holding out hope, but the way the conversation went kind of gave me that closure that I have that confidence to move on and keep the door open if it's meant to be opened, but it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, the way he responsibility and recognized all the wrongdoings. And
that's awesome. I mean, there's nothing better for a woman to hear is for a guy to take personal responsibility and apologize. I mean, that's like mind-blowing. They're like, it's like I don't know, heroin for the females. They're just like, I mean, I've never had heroin, but I've just heard that it's like, oh my God, give me more.
Yeah, and
so,
like for a while, he's he was lying about stuff and wasn't being honest with his friends or his family that we were still together, we were still involved. And what he told me was he was with her on Thursday, and I was buzzing his phone, and my name popped up, and she said, "Oh, who's this? Tell me about her." And for the first time, he didn't lie and say, I was a guy or a friend. Like, he said, what's been going on and this current situation he's in. And she actually seemed to be respectful and said that she's also kind of in the same situation with her ex and still being involved, and that it sounds like she's respectful she respects him, his choice to want to keep me in his life moving forward. Yeah.
Good. If you only knew.
I know.
You're probably the biggest threat she'll have. But I got to go take other callers. But feel free to call back another time or to get a personal session with me by going to amysatori.com services.
Oh, okay.
But we've got a lot more people on hold that would like to talk tonight.
Okay.
And we're almost to the hour. So, sorry.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Let's see, where are you? Sorry about that, girl. Yeah, I know. I was sorry. Hi.
That's okay. It's okay. The twin flame journey is relatable to all, so it's good.
This is true.
So you
have an update or another question?
Yeah, I have an update and a follow-up question. Okay. So you actually gave me a prediction that my DM was going to reach out in 6 days or 6 weeks.
Okay.
And lo and behold, 6 days later, out of like a month of silence, he asked me to watch this movie with him. So we went to like a dinner and a movie, and it was really nice. It was really sweet. But I still feel this like strong fear block preventing us from moving from friendship to something more.
Okay.
And my question is, do I talk about my feelings and say something encouraging, or do I give him space and let him?
Okay. Are you guys hanging out on a regular basis now? Talking on a regular basis?
Yeah, we were talking on a regular basis. Like we're close friends. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Hang on. It just kind of feels like he needs reassurance. So I would just incorporate more touching, more cuddling.
I did follow some of that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because physical touch, I feel like that would reassure him. And it's kind of like in this journey, sometimes you got to drop the labels and just be what you are. And then once they're like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of okay, I feel comfortable here. It's not that threatening. It's not that scary. Then they're kind of like, it's like at some point they just kind of break out of their cocoon and they become the butterfly, and they're just like, they want everybody to know.
Is he not sure that how I feel about him? Is that why?
A little bit of that as yes. There's definitely, I just feel like some insecurity.
Yeah.
He's not sure. I don't know if you guys have had sex or not, but it's kind of feels like he might be a little insecure about what happens when you guys go there, or what happens when.
That's exactly where I'm at too, because we've never.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was definitely a strong tension too.
Okay. So let me think of how you can address that, because that can be kind of tough when you're in that. That's one thing about getting stuck in friend zone sometimes is like, how the hell do we get out of here? Okay, hang on.
We both turned on each other at different times.
Well, I think that's why your guides are encouraging you to like hand hold and touch, and get some, massage each other, rub each other's arms, hands, like whatever physical stuff you can have going on, cuddle during the movie, do whatever you can physically. It'll make both of you feel much more comfortable to take it to another level. Oops, my hand slipped. Oops,
Yeah.
My lips ended up on your neck.
We actually sat in the couple seat, and every time we got like too close, I could just feel us tense up, like we're afraid the floodgates will open.
There's a lot of passion behind these guys. It's like, oh my gosh, when they finally get a hold of each other and they get to tear each other to pieces, it's like, way too intense. So, yeah, but you got to build up to it slowly. And they will, the twins will kind of back off when it does get too intense. So don't take it personally when he does that. Just come back again the next time more resilient and just keep going forward from where you were. Don't let it scare you off, and don't take it personally. Just keep going forward. Yeah.
I think I'm calling to kind of keep the confirmation. So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Patty?
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is Patty. I first time caller, but I've been a listener and I've had, little card draws before. And that's what I'm calling about. The forever twin flame crazy journey. But in my situation, I finally, they teach you self-love and you self-worth, and I got to that point. And when I opened myself up to love again, I did meet somebody back in July. And I don't know, is the soul flame, I don't know what a soul flame is. Is that like the soul mate? What is that?
Well, the way I look at it is there's the soulmate, and that's the person that's like super easy and comfortable to get along with. It can be a little bit boring. But it's like super, super nice. The people who are just like up to here with stress and drama in their lives and they cannot handle the twin flame journey, they don't have the patience. Those guys, I say, you cannot handle the twin flame, don't do that. Don't go that route. Do the soulmate because they're so much easier. But when the twin flames have a certain amount of time to kind of step it up and kind of the divine masculines anyway, they have a certain amount of time because the divine feminines, they know that there's a connection first, and they, they do this whole song and dance they go through with the runner and chaser stuff, and then they come to a point where the divine masculine has to step it up, and he's got to kind of step into his manhood and do something about their connection, and then if he doesn't, it's like there seems to be an energetic timeline, and it's like he has free will, and if he hasn't chosen to be with her, and if he hasn't kind of earned that badge or signed on the dotted line that he wants that inheritance, then he passes on to the next. He passes the baton on to someone else. And from what I have seen so far, I'm still kind of experimenting with the whole soul flame thing, but what it looks like is the soul flame is somebody that you most likely knew before your twin flame even, or that you've known for some time, that's been kind of simmering in the background, like the one that got away, and then they come through after all this time when your twin flames taking a nap, and they kind of sneak up underneath them, and they pop up more ready, more mature, and more willing to go right into commitment, marriage, and all kinds of things. These soulmates are blowing my mind right now because I'm here. Everybody's like calling me and writing me, and they're talking to me on Instagram saying, "Oh, I totally met that soul flame, and we're getting married." And it goes so fast with those guys, way, way better.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in my little opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I did meet somebody because after 2 years of waiting for my twin, and that's not happening, and I finally got it, and so, but like he's much younger than me, but he's very mature. But he plays his cards very close to him, and I can't read him, and I know he likes me. I hear it from he has conversations with my nephew, who's how we met. But I don't know, like, but I'm sure it's a mirror, but like I hadn't heard from him in 3 weeks, and of course that's what my twin used to always do. He used to always ghost me, for 2 years. It'd be like 3, 6, 12 weeks, whatever. So I'm sure I'm mirroring something back, but I did reach out just to check in, and yeah, he's been busy, but I don't know if I don't know how he feels about me, and I don't want to repeat the cycle with the twin, and I don't know if it's if it's not, I know there are certain rules that you're not supposed to ask, you're not supposed to define what your relationship is, but it's been like 5 months that we've been, kind of, consistently been together, so it's not like, very new, but I just wanted to see if you could tap in to see, where he stands with me.
Well, the soul flame is a little bit, they are a little bit, they kind of do look like a little bit twin flamey. They also kind of have a little bit of runner chaser there. They do ghost you. They do some of that stuff, but they are like probably, I don't know if it's like, I don't know. They're further along. They're further along though. You still have to kind of go through that. But they have a lot more of that soulmate energy too, that unconditional love, like that's just like they are faithful. They are just.
That's kind of where I'm feeling. I'm feeling that the soulmate energy. I'm also feeling the soul flame energy. So I don't know what I'm feeling a little emotionally unavailable. So
if he has that emotionally unavailable component, though, I'd bet he's probably a soul flame, because the soulmates, they're just easy. You don't really have that going on with them. You'll know what's going on with them.
Oh, he's totally a soul flame then.
Okay. So let me feel into him. And, it really doesn't matter, the label. You just have to see how people show up for you and whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but at the same time, my twin flame relationship has taught me so much of my self-worth that I don't chase anymore, So, yeah. But it doesn't make it easier.
Yeah. Okay. So, hang on just a minute. Let me feel into him. He's actually got really cute energy. I feel him like he's holding your hand. Yeah, he's holding your hand and like he's acting like you guys are going to Disneyland. He's like grabbing your hand and he's like, "Let's go. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." I would say, yeah, he's all on board. Aww. He's all on board. I don't know the ghosting thing. Let me feel what he's doing with it. He's trying to be careful. He's trying to just do things right. So let him do that. Okay. Let him kind of pull back and think. He's trying to be wise. Really, he's trying to be careful and wise. So, but he definitely, it feels kind of like a slingshot type of energy. Like once he kind of pulls that back, it's going to go boom, and it's going to go really fast. So it feels really good to me. It feels like you guys are definitely got a good thing going.
I thought so. I mean, like I said, I learned a lot from the twin flame, and so I thought it was good. But I think, I think when you learn a lot, I think you might be a little bit intimidating because you're a little bit more secure and sure of yourself.
True. That's true. Okay. Well, thank you, Patty.
Well, thank you.
All right. Have a great night.
You too. Thanks.
Okay. Bye. Hey, Kim.
Hello. Hi. How's it going, girl?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just have some quickies for you, hopefully, so it won't be too long.
Thank you.
I have an opportunity to do, I know it's getting there. I have an opportunity to do 2 things in July. Either come down to San Diego to my place, and it's kind of more like work, and there's a healer that I see here, or go to a retreat in Portland. And I was wondering if you could get a sense in which one. I can't do both, so.
Okay. Let's put a label on the first one.
San Diego.
Okay, San Diego or Portland. Okay, hang on. San Diego.
That's what I thought.
San
Question
Diego,
number 2.
it was like, yeah, and it was like, San Diego feels like it's going to just be bright and sunny. It has warm, fuzzy feelings to it. And the Portland one feels a little bit more serious and a little bit more rainy.
It would be definitely intense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that could actually be literally, but I'm talking more about the feelings of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your next?
And then another quickie. Breaking up with my husband. Is there any time? Is it one of those things where just do it? It's just going to. I'm anticipating it be ugly because he's just so unhealed, and it's going to trigger money. I don't see it not being ugly. Yeah. Will we get to a point within the next year or so where there would be any better or worse time to do it? Is there a timing to it?
All right, hang on. In a public place?
Well,
hang on. You'll know. It's like they'll be presented an opportunity. It makes me think of like Crazy Stupid Love when they're at dinner and he just blurts it out or she just blurts it out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's tell each other what we want on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I want a divorce.
I could see that happening, actually.
Yeah, it's like building.
I think
There's already pressure building.
Yeah. Okay. That totally resonates with me. That's it. Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye. Oops. Let's see. I thought I got you. Hello? Hello? Hola, ¿qué pasó la?
Amy?
Yes.
Oh, it's Will. Hey.
Hey, Will. How's it going?
Hey. All right. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm gonna get to the question. I've talked to you about going mobile in my van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
But I do have an office, and I'm in that spirit of figuring out what I let go of, and decision is soon at hand on whether to release this office. Actually, I have to do it by the end of today. And,
okay.
Just wanted to see if you could help me get a read on that.
So you're letting go of a lease, an office lease?
I guess not renewing or not signing a new 6-month or 1-year lease.
Okay. Should he renew this lease? No.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. You're on to another chapter.
Wow. It's a big chapter.
It feels like if you wanted to go back, and if they had, it feels like they would welcome you back. I don't know if they didn't have that space available, there might be another one or another option, but they like their relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
They would try to work something out.
That's good. That's good to hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask you about clearing past life stuff, and I feel like it's really shown up in my body. A lot of I'm like dragging myself some days.
Why do you think it's a past life?
I don't know. I'm just getting like a lot of cracks that I haven't had before. I think it's a past life. I haven't had this vivid insight before that I was a beggar in a past life. And
you're starting to feel that way again? I
don't know. I'm just like, I don't know what's contributing to feeling so ancient right now. And I'm interested in clearing
if I were you, I would do an actual like past life regression where you have your higher self come through and give you input. Like spend a couple of hours under. I'm offering that as part of my services now.
Good.
Maybe we could work something out. I don't know if you're ever in the Boulder area. I might. I don't know. Well, we could work something out, but I think you need to spend that kind of time, though. I don't think it's something that you'll just be able to kind of, like, I know that sometimes I can pass, go into these past lives during the show, but I think this one feels a bit more involved. Like there's a whole story to it. You're going to want to know the whole story.
Yeah. I hear you. Right.
But there's also like some of the tiredness is coming from like ascension symptoms right now. A lot of back pain. If you guys are feeling back pain too, that I've been hearing a lot of reports of that. So you're just getting tweaked for higher levels. It's a good thing. Try not to read into it everything that hurts or anything as a bad thing. Just be like, oh, okay, I'm getting tweaked.
Yeah.
And then you'll see it disappear.
Sure. And what do you feel I could do to be, I don't know, I guess I know I want to be, with Nalini and the time I have left, I want to be as good as I can be. So.
Okay. So what can you do best to support her? Okay. And just so anyone who's listening who hasn't listened to the past shows, to follow these guys, they're getting a divorce amicably.
We have actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's done. All right. Hang on a second. Yeah. Encourage her to follow her own excitement. Just be there if she needs you. It doesn't feel like she's too needy or clingy, so it feels pretty healthy. Cool. But if it's like she wants to know, though, that in the back of her mind, if like she got this huge like a flood that happened or something like really freaky or scary happened, that it would be reassuring for her to know that she could get a hold of you, and that you might be able to just be that masculine presence in her life right now until she gets somebody new, of course.
Yeah.
But, and I only say that, I mean, I just did a video on not staying friends with your ex, but in your guys' case, I just feel like it's so mature. Yeah. And I feel like she also, it kind of feels like she's balking in some of the things that she really wants to do that would make her really happy. I feel like there's like some creativity to come out of her that she's kind of like feeling insecure about going into. So if you know what those things are, like say she's always wanted to be a singer or a painter or an artist or a poet or, any of those creative things, encourage her to get into those things, because it feels like she could do really well with those things. Cool. Didn't she just get that job? Awesome. Yay. So that should be great. Maybe while she's on that trip or while she's gone, she can, she can do some of this, whatever the creative thing is she wants to do. Because she can do it while she's working.
Right.
So encourage her to get excited and passionate about something like you are doing. Okay. She sees that you've kind of broken out of the cocoon and you're this beautiful butterfly who's starting to fly. And so just encourage her to do the same thing.
Sure. All right. I'll contact you about it. I'll follow up.
Cool. Okay.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, Will. Okay. Bye. Okay, let's see here. Hello?
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 Who's this?
This is Rolando. How are you?
Rolando. Hola.
¿Cómo estás, Amy?
Muy bien, gracias.
Hi, Amy. So it's been kind of a while ever since I touched base with you, and so I was just listening to the whole podcast, and actually, it was kind of interesting, just like to sum everything up. It's like I don't really want anything more with my twins, if that makes any sense.
Okay, really? So, good for you. Look at you.
I just got set up. I just got set up with the whole BS, with the whole wishy-washy back and forth. But now my question is... It took you a while to get there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Amy has gone with... I've gone through through all the changes and stages and everything. But
and a little bit like heavy. So I was wondering if you could like, I don't know, like tap into that maybe.
I missed part of that because your phone cut out, but what are you feeling? You're feeling heavy?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit heavy and nostalgic. I'm not sure if you could pick up on that.
About him?
Just in general. I don't know, like if it's something that's coming my way.
I want you to do something.
Mhm.
Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to ask, is it him or is it me? And put the word him on the left and me on the right and see which one glows. Try that.
I think it's him.
Okay. See, once you know that, and it's like we have to be conscious enough to stop and not just assume everything is us. So, and you can do this with anybody, but most likely and most usually we are feeling our twin's energy. So, yeah, and then once you know that, you can just say, you know, I bless him with pure love and light. I bless him with pure source energy, or whatever prayer you want to pray, or please give him strength to let go. Please, you know, bless his life and bring him happiness. Right. Whatever you feel would be appropriate until you feel kind of relieved. You could also kind of kink the cord. You'd like imagine a hose between the two of you because there's always that cord, but you could like kink it like you would if you were trying not to get water to come out of the hose, and put a clamp on it and like ask an angel to watch over it. Like, Archangel Michael, I put you in charge of keeping this hose clamped until you know that I can handle whatever energy is about to trickle through.
Right. Because then that's my question, Amy. Like, what do you see like coming forward towards me, like between like April and May? Because I feel like there's like something that's like about to rush in. I'm not sure if I'm just like imagining it.
No, it's love is in the air. I'm telling you, people are coming together right now. Okay, so let me see. Somebody new is definitely coming. I feel like he's already watching you. I feel like he already either knows of you or knows you. He feels comfortable with you. He feels like, oh gosh, not another one of these. No, he doesn't feel worthy of approaching you. So he's just a little nervous.
Let me just ask you really quick before before I detain any more time. So I met this guy Casey a few days ago. He's around my age. That's pretty much what people have been telling me. You know, he's going to be like approximately the new person. But I got the word pathological liar one time that I was talking to him on the phone, and he's been putting me off. Like, you know what I mean? Like meeting up in person. Is he the new person that I'm potentially going to meet?
Yeah. Is he a pathological liar? It kind of feels like he's actually kind of trying to work on that. I think he used to lie a lot. I think the person who said that was like exaggerating. He's not quite pathological about it, but I feel like he is. Maybe that's why he doesn't like feel worthy of you two. Maybe that's part of it. Is that he feels like can I really do this? Can I show up authentic finally? And I think he's wanting to do that. I think he wants to do that.
Because do you see like my twin showing up anytime soon? Because I also feel his energy for some reason.
No. Not for a good month or so. I feel like he's thinking about you a lot for sure. He's feeling a lot of regret. But I don't think he'll actually do something about it for about another month or so. And by then you might be dating.
Yeah, and kind of like to conclude everything, Amy. So this guy, Casey, he said that he's about to move or like find a new job and then, you know, like leave or whatever. Is that true? Or is he going to find a new job and then leave?
Yeah.
Okay. See, but then that's my question. It's like, why would I commend something if the person's just going to leave, you know?
I would explore it. I mean, gosh, people can move. If you have that great of a connection, you never know. Gosh, a lot can be revealed in a short period of time. You got to at least explore it. I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'll just let things happen and unveil naturally. All right. Well, I do appreciate it, Amy. I'll visit you
you're
very soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Have a
good night.
Thank you. Thank you, too.
Bye. Okay. Hello? Hello?
Oh, hi, Amy. Sorry, I just called back to listen. If that's okay.
Oh, okay. I'll put you back on mute. Thanks. Okay, so... Hello?
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, this is Candace. I called you like 2 weeks ago, and I'm basically calling
I remember
to give you an update. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I wanted to call and let you know that you were 1,000% right.
Hey, what happened?
I basically did what you told me. I did my affirmations and everything. I went on Indeed.com and applied for a job. Literally that same day, the company called and asked me for an interview. I went on the job interview on Friday, went in guns blazing, very confident. Monday morning, got a call, this past Monday, got the call saying that they want to hire me. So I got the job. Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
That's
so exciting.
I know. So I get the phone call. I got the job on Monday. And the next day at work, at my dreadful job, I'm still there.
Okay.
Well, I was still there. But the next day, yeah. I wasn't feeling well. And I went to my boss and I said, listen, I'm leaving early. I have to go to the doctor. Something's not right. So I went to the doctor. This was a Tuesday. And I get there, and I'm told, hey, you got high blood pressure. You're suffering with high blood pressure. So that job has stressed me out to the point where, and I'm young. I'm very young.
Yeah.
That job it stressed me out to the point where my blood pressure was it was 153 over 120.
Wow.
Which I had no knowledge that, I don't know about this kind of stuff. And they were like, oh, no, this is not normal. So, I was like,
it's going to come back down.
Yeah, well, the next day, Wednesday, I quit. This past Wednesday, I quit.
Good for you.
I literally
Look at you. You're being a badass.
I was done.
You're like going after it. That's awesome.
Yes. So
that's self-love right there.
So right.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Can I clear your energy from your job for you? And give you a little blessing on your new job? Okay.
Thank you.
Hang on just a minute. Yeah. And I'll see if there's any kind of tip I can get for you, too, about starting your new journey. Hang on.
Thank you.
Okay, so part of this is like reprogramming your neural pathways, because they don't want you to assume that this environment's going to be like the other, so they're erasing some of that so that you have more time to react without just like automatically, reacting, and what's the other word? You can either react or you can, anyway, it'll slow down your process so you have time to think about how you're going to respond. That's the word.
Right.
Right. So they were a little bit worried, your guides were a little bit worried that you might go into the situation with a little bit of a guard up. So they're taking that down, and they're allowing you to think more logically than reactively. So let me keep working on you for a second here.
Okay.
Okay. Just go in with that same like confidence and happiness. Are you using the affirmation, I'm so completely loved and supported in all ways and always?
Yes. Oh, you listen, any and every affirmation that I know I've been using constantly. Good.
And it's important for anybody who's listening right now. You can't just say these affirmations. You got to really, pull them in, like really feel it, like really know it. Yeah.
Oh,
I can tell. I can tell you know. You're manifesting like crazy right now. So, okay, so there's one more thing they want me to do. Let me see what it is. Hang on. It's regarding the new work. Okay. There are going to be some people who are a little jealous of you at the new place.
Oh, great.
It's okay, though. Just don't be, just be chipper and happy and confident and respectful, and just do what your boss says. Like, just have a relationship and rapport with those who you directly interact with, and anybody else, just know that they'll get over it. And I would just like smile at everybody, even the ones who kind of like act a little bit on. Oh, I know. Okay. So some of these people, if you can imagine, they just feel like little people to me. Like they're going to go nowhere. They're going to just sit there. They're the kind of people who go home and just complain about their jobs all the time. And they're just like all about the drama and, oh, you just wouldn't believe, blah, 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 blah. She never going to, so like that kind of tone.
Energy vampires. Yay.
Some of them, there's just a few. I feel like only like 2 or 3, in the whole place. So it's not that bad. They're just wanting you to know how to handle them so that you don't take it personally. But just think of them as people who are like, how people have little man's complex, so they have to act really big and strong, and they kind of overcompensate. Yeah. That's kind of these guys. So when you validate them and make them feel big, they will relax because they don't have to like overcompensate for anything. They're just like, oh, well, she gets it. She gets that I'm a, they feel validated somehow. So I would look at these people and energetically like project to them, I respect your power. So show them that, because staring at somebody and glaring at them and I mean, that's powerful in a way. I mean, you're not condoning the behavior, but the power behind it. So you're like, wow, look at you having an attitude. Good for you. There's some expression there. That's powerful expression. It's negative, but it's, pretty powerful. So, because I can feel it. Right. I can feel your eyes burning through me. So just honor the energy of it and just look at them and just say, I respect your power. And then see what happens. See what happens to them, because energetically you will see them shift and change right in front of you over time. It's amazing. And do that directed toward anybody and just smile at them with confidence. And a lot of people, they won't like you because they feel like you don't like them. So like them. As much as you can, like them, and say, I respect your power. Like somebody cuts me off in traffic, or they say something really snotty, or they get in front of you. And, I get all types over there in my booth at the lighthouse. And I've just anytime that there's anything negative, I just go, wow, I respect your power. And I'll just be amused and kind of fascinated with how they're speaking to me. And it just shifts the energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So give that a shot when you run into these guys. But other than that, everything goes really well. It feels like your boss is going to be very impressed by you. And he's going to actually probably trust you more than he's trusted a lot of people he's worked with. So
listen, I was very shocked. The vice president of the company chose my resume and interviewed me himself. No one else interviewed me, and they didn't even call me back for a second interview. They interviewed me after.
Wow.
They hired me after only one interview.
Dude, that's awesome.
So, yeah. I'm excited.
So cool. You're perfect.
I'm very excited.
Yay.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I have like one more question.
Okay. So go ahead.
I am single, of course.
You said that at 88. That was 88 minutes and 0 seconds when you said you had one more question. So this must be a good one. Go ahead.
Wow. Well, I just want to know if there's because I am moving away from my old job where my twin flame does work there. And I've been single for some time now. I've been working on myself. Not attached to him or whatever outcome with him. Have not been for a while, since the beginning of this, actually. And I feel like I'm ready for a soulmate or for someone to come into my life, but I feel like I've always been so just down about the job and preoccupied with that and, you know, raising my kids. I honestly have never made any time for, I guess, myself socially outside of hanging with my married friends, my girlfriends who are all married, which, you know, it's awesome, but I'm the only single one. So, like, do you see or can you, like, feel, I guess, if there's anyone coming my way that I may meet in the near future?
Yeah. You have just opened the floodgates. These tower moments that are happening for people, these huge shifts and changes. And if that's happening to you and you're having a hard time with it, I do have a video on how to embrace change. But yeah, these tower moments are shaking people's worlds up so that they can go into a more authentic life for them, something that's more true for them. So that includes this big shift that you just made. I feel like there's now this kind of a void that somebody can just come right in and step into. And I feel like your twin is going to panic for a moment that you're not there anymore and that you're not pining anymore. And I think that's a really good thing for his growth. Let me just see about the new guy, though. Hang on. Well, this guy, this guy feels confident. He feels like he knows what he wants and he's going to get it. And he's going to be taking you out for dinners. I just feel like he's romantic. I feel like he's going to, like, wine and dine you. He's a fancy man.
Oh,
he's like,
I like those.
Yeah, he's just right up your alley. And you're going to probably wonder if you can trust him because he's very charming, very good looking. But he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He may have been a player in his younger days, but he's outgrown that. He's just got still a little bit of that charm left over. But you will see in the little things. Watch the little things. Watch how he treats the waiter. Watch how he handles situations. Listen to how he talks to people. And does he listen to you? Does he show genuine interest in you and your life? Right. Especially your struggles. And how does he support you? How does he support you, like, emotionally while you're telling him things that are going on in your life?
Right. Okay.
So that's what's going to show you that he has integrity and that he's not that player anymore.
Cool.
He's a good guy.
Now, I've been having very weird dreams, though, about my twin lately, and I don't know if it's something like I don't know. I've been having dreams that he's coming to my house and he's ringing my doorbell, and he's, like, all beaten and bloody and bruised, and I bring him into the house and I take care of him, and I'm trying to make him better or fix his wounds or whatever. And I kid you not, and this is kind of creepy, but in these dreams, he kills me, and then he kills himself. And I keep having this dream over and over. And I don't know where it's coming from. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying to move on, and I'm trying to, not really kill the situation between him, but I am distancing myself. So I don't know if this dream is something. I don't know. It's just weird. It's kind of freaking me.
I don't like it.
Kind of I don't like
it either.
It's recurring. Yeah.
Are you going to move? Really?
Sorry?
Are you going to move? Are you going to move when you go to this new job?
No, but I'm just moving away from seeing him every day, and the job is closer to my home than my previous job. My previous job, like, I had to travel like an hour, one way to get to work.
Oh, okay. I asked
closer to home.
I asked if you could be harmed in this situation. I got to know. So that was the first question I wanted to ask and make sure. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me just see if I can find some more information out. Well, I do know this. So dreams they deal with our subconscious fears.
Yeah.
So you're working through and processing some of that stuff. And this is going to sound really weird, and I found this out years ago, and I have no idea where I heard it, but it really stuck in my brain because I was having this happen a while ago. But the more blood and guts and gore and awful things like that, like gosh, one time I had a dream where it was like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Everybody was killing each other and there were bloody parts everywhere, and it was awful. And I was scared and running from every room. And then I, started to research some of this stuff. Like, why am I having this? If you see statues move, something that shouldn't actually move in real life, a tree, if it starts becoming really animated or something, or you'll probably, and the reason I say it is because these kind of go along together. But if you see a lot of guts and gore and blood and things like that, and then you see a lot of like things that shouldn't be moving, it actually is a sign of spiritual growth.
Oh.
Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why that is, but it's like a major growth spurt, and you have just made a major move in your life. So I'm not surprised you're having those types of dreams, and I've been hearing that not just from you. Other people have been reporting the same types of dreams right now. And I think it's just because there's a lot of upheaval. I wouldn't take it necessarily as a bad thing, but ask your guides, when you have a dream like that, just ask them, am I safe? And you can feel into yes or no. And then if they say, no, you're not safe, then you can say, do I need to do something about this? And what should I do? Please make the answer obvious to me. You want to pray for an obvious answer because you don't want them beating around the bush. It's like, have it land in my lap, Tell me the answer.
Right.
Tell me where I need to move. If I need to move, make it obvious. Let somebody offer it to me or whatever,
Okay.
So I'm not a good dream interpreter, but you're just processing and growing, I think.
Okay. I mean, the dream did freak, because I keep having this same. It's not exactly the same every time. It's similar. But it started once I told myself, okay, I'm ready to date.
Okay, so you might need to, that's funny. So you might need to face something in that, because I had a reoccurring dream. I'm not sure if you've heard this before, but I had a reoccurring dream once that this dinosaur kept coming after me, and he would peek in my bedroom. And we had like this 3-story house when I was little. And he'd go through all these different windows, and I'd run all the way through this house trying to figure out where to go, where to hide. And he'd just keep peeking. He'd keep finding me, and I'd see his tail or a scale. And I was so scared. And then finally one day, I just thought, I'm just going to stand here and face it. So I said, what do you want? And he peeked in and looked at me. And I was so scared, but I just stood there, and I just stood my ground. What do you want? And he says, I just want to play. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
So maybe you need to tell him it's safe for you guys to die. It's safe for this to end. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that you guys move on. Reassure him in the dream. Try different things in your dream that you can say to him that will release him. I don't know.
Okay.
Just experiment with it. Try different. Are you lucid enough in your dream that you can try something different?
I feel like I am. I'm getting better. I'm getting.
Well, try to meditate.
I'm even getting better at like the sleep paralysis. I've been learning that my night terrors or my sleep paralysis is actually probably me astral projecting or something. I was reading like you're not. So I'm like starting to like realize a lot of stuff that's going on. Yes.
Cool.
Starting to realize a lot.
So maybe before you go to bed, imagine the dream and imagine it going different.
Okay.
Imagine saying something to him that makes him feel hope again, or that makes him feel like everything's going to be okay, or just picture like have the dream before you have the dream, and then go to sleep and see what happens. Play around with it.
Yeah, because I need for him to stop showing up at my door all beat up. I don't know why. I like why that's the thing I think that scares me, and it's crazy because the fact that we're both killed in this dream isn't the thing that scares me the most. The thing that scares me is that he shows up at my door in a certain condition, in a certain way, like all beat up. That's the thing that kind of breaks my heart.
Okay, so that's the thing that you need to change. Like meditate before you go to bed on him showing up with flowers and in like in a tuxedo and a really nice suit or something. Just totally mix it up. With a red tie, though, it needs to be like a red tie, so there's still that element of the bloodiness, but it's like all dressed up.
Yeah.
Kind
of shifting a little. Okay.
Good luck.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
and I will keep you posted on the new job.
Great. Yay! Congratulations. I'm really happy for you. That's awesome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. One more quick one. Another quickie.
Hey.
Hey, girlfriend.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Right.
We haven't heard your voice for a while on here.
I know. Yeah, things have been crazy. Yeah, I'll try to be quick about it.
Okay.
So, you've been talking about all these people that are moving this year for some reason. The energy of relocating has been pretty strong, and I've been feeling that way too, pretty heavily. And for a long time, I've been on this track where I've been drawn to Colorado really strongly, but recently I've been being pulled towards the East Coast.
Okay.
I have maybe an opportunity to move to the New York area, and I'm just wondering if you can read into that at all. There's a part of me that is starting to wonder if maybe moving to a place that's closer to my twin maybe just isn't the right move or a good idea, and that's where this energy is coming from. I'm thrown off my balance, if you will, by this draw to the East Coast.
Okay, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
It's really funny because sometimes it seems like you're going opposite directions, but it's actually bringing you closer together energetically. It feels like this move to New York could usher in this fresh new energy that gets you excited and exhilarated and causes like this incredible energy within you that then draws your twin closer. Sometimes you look like you're going the opposite direction when in actuality, in the long run, it's bringing you closer together faster.
I see.
Does that make sense?
So yeah. Does it feel like that would be a better direction for me then?
Then Colorado, yes. I put them next to each other, and New York felt like bright and happy and like a brand new, fresh new start. Like Easter, I get the word Easter. For some reason, it kind of has the feel of Easter, that fresh spring feel,
Yeah, rebirth.
Yeah, and it feels like, and it kind of feels like you're going to hit the ground running, so be ready for things to really start happening for you over there. And you're going to meet some really awesome friends.
Oh, cool. Now, can I ask one other question as well?
Yeah.
So my twin was in town just recently. I think we talked a little bit about that. And I didn't hear anything, which is fine. But I feel like nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Wow, that's
which
crazy.
Is okay. I was a little surprised, yeah.
Me too.
So I don't know if something shifted or if there was some kind of a blockage there, either on my side or on their side.
I get insecurity.
Okay. For me,
I get like biting nails. Her biting nails.
Okay.
Like just being really, 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 really nervous. That's too bad. That's just too bad.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by that, but that's okay. It's okay. But I just feel like the distance between us is growing. And so I'm wondering, do you feel anybody new coming in for me? I've kept myself off the market for a long time just because I have a really hard time entering into a situation knowing what I know, knowing that it isn't going to go all the way. So I've kind of kept myself at bay from that, but I've been feeling this pull, and I can't explain it, and I don't know where it's coming from. So I'm just wondering if you can read into that at all, if you see.
This just feels like this could be that situation where the twin flames had adequate time to, or the divine masculines had adequate time to do something, and he hasn't, and he's dropped the ball. So is this a soul flame coming through for her? Yeah. Okay. So, can you tell me anything about this person coming through?
Maybe a way to recognize who it might be.
I'm seeing, it's funny because I think that's what they may have been talking about with Easter. It's like I see an Easter egg, a basket of Easter eggs. So that might mean that you meet this person on Easter or around Easter, or maybe, is this, can you tell me? They're going to feel like a breath of fresh air. They're going to feel...
Is that maybe
giggly.
Where the pull to the East Coast is coming from?
Yeah, I'm starting to think that, yeah. Are you going to be over there by Easter? Can you get over there by Easter?
No, that's way too quick. I'm still finishing up a school term. So if it were to manifest, it would be closer to late summer, early fall.
Okay.
As far as moving.
Okay. Is this person in New York? Or I think from New York. Something like that. They have some kind of a relationship to New York. That's all they'll give me. Easter eggs in New York.
Well, that narrows it down. No, I'm kidding.
And silly.
Oh, okay.
Silly and funny and giddy.
Okay. Well, that's up my alley.
Good. Perfect.
All right,
girl.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
You
Talk
too.
to you later.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, so thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate you being part of this journey, and I love that we can all learn from each other and what we are all going through. And isn't it nice also when you get to hear stories that resonate with you and your own story, and you're like, I'm not the only one going through this, There are hundreds or thousands of these divine masculines and feminines going through very similar things. And these reports of the soul flames are becoming more and more common on my end. So that's very promising, you guys. If your twin flame hasn't been like picking up the baton, then it's time for it to go to another one, perhaps. So keep your mind open, keep your vibration high, stay optimistic, and don't stop believing. All right, you guys, have a great night, and we'll catch you next time on The Satori Show.